Do you have something to say? Talk. No. Yes. Where do you want to go? You can't sit right on my keyboard. Come up here. Come here. Come on. Quest v76. We talked to you a little bit about it in preview, but official rollout has begun happening. We also got live captions for any app, including VR apps, and you can no longer uninstall Horizon Worlds. I'm not going to get this done at all thanks to you, Kat. Of course, like we talked about before, every update from Quest rolls out differently. I think we actually just got some tiles in from v74, so they roll out to some regions, even some specific features roll out different places, so you may or may not get any of them right away, even if you have v76 in your settings. I'll leave a link at the end of the video to the other video that covered a lot more of v76, but basically the big thing to talk about right now is you can no longer get rid of Horizon Worlds, and it looks like it's cutting down to just the word Worlds and integrating even further into the platform. Kat, you are gonna ruin something here. Stop trying to attack my mouse pointer. Okay, can you at least get off the keyboard? Well, we can have fun with this section even if we don't get anything done. This is, of course, after we talked about how they put another $50 million into Horizon Worlds, or is it just Worlds now? After it seemed like a lot of funding got pulled from developers this year for VR gaming apps and all the other stuff we've been talking about in the news lately. How do you feel about that out there? Do you like Horizon? I feel like the name changes are getting a little wild at this point. Horizon OS, Worlds, killed Oculus and Quest and all of that. But live captions, that's kind of exciting, especially for people who want them to be able to see better. I've heard from several friends that they watch all their shows with subtitles on anyways, just because it's easier, especially because dialogue seems like it's gotten harder to hear in shows. But now basically you can have a pop-up window and any audio that you're hearing on the Quest can be auto live captioned through AI, even voice chat from people in other games. And they don't show up in screenshots or video recordings, so you can still have them but get your reliable recordings. And Worlds is now not uninstallable. It's integrated into the Horizon platform experience, Meta says. Good times. How's the vibe out there? How's everybody feeling about VR? At least we're getting some big name titles again in the gaming industry. You can't lay on my keyboard. You can't lay on my keyboard. Hey, you can't lay there. You cannot lay there. You're gonna mess things up. Just this week, Civilization 7 has finally launched on Quest. This is the entirety of the giant game Civilization 7. This isn't just some VR mode. This isn't a VR add-on or some demo to try out. They've taken the entire game, they've redesigned it where the whole thing can be played in mixed reality or virtual reality, and you can play the entire campaign. You can play it multiplayer with other friends in VR. I actually got to go check this out a little early in New York, try some of the games, see what I thought. We already did a first impressions video if you want to hear more about the game, but basically it's out right now on Quest. If you want to save some money, I'll leave a link down below, a discount link that's going to save you some money on the game if you want to get that. And for those of you out there who've been wondering about it, it is huge. It is the whole game, but it is a lot. If you've never played a Civilization game before, you're going to be learning through tutorials and everything for a long time. So check that out. Hit the link down below if you want to save some money. Recently, thanks to all of you out there, we hit 100,000 subscribers. Absolutely amazing. And supposedly our play button is on the way, but I still have not seen it yet. Now, with that, we did a big $1,000 Ultimate Quest 3 giveaway. Bobo VR said they'd help us out, Oblick, a couple other companies. So you get a Quest 3, you get all the accessories you need to really fully enjoy it. And now it's time to draw a winner for that. 2,574 total people entered in that. And let's find out who just won the Ultimate Quest 3 setup. Congratulations, Buzz Killington. A little reference from Family Guy you might all remember there.
Do any of you know the tale of how cornmeal came to be?
No.
No.
Neither did the miller when he left his house that morning.
Congratulations, Buzz. I'll be reaching out to you directly through email. Basically, we gotta make sure someone around you has an iPhone, get your face 3D scanned, get that perfect Oblick fitting facial interface, all the Bobo accessories to keep your headset running forever, and some JayBratt grips from Abica to make your hands comfortable and keep those controllers in place. Congratulations. Right now, we don't actually have any other active giveaways going on, but I have some companies asking me about partnering up and doing more, so I'd love to know out there, what do you want to see given away on the channel here? We did a Ray-Bans one recently, which less people entered into the Ray-Bans one, so I wasn't quite sure if people just didn't want them as much, or maybe the word didn't get out as far. But what do you need or want out there? I love giving back to all of you. You've done so much for us here at the channel. We've got all kinds of amazing things happening. I get to see VR things and people all over the world. So thank you once again. And let me know down below, what do you want to see us give away next? If you remember a time when 3D TVs were the craze and tech enthusiasts thought eventually everybody would have a 3D television in their home with multiple sets of goggles, well, you're probably a little bit older, and maybe you remember some of the oldest films of James Cameron, who is now saying that XR headsets solve the problems of traditional 3D glasses, and maybe they might actually make a comeback. Of course, with films like Avatar that were pretty cool to see in 3D in theaters if you saw them, 3D content has had a tough time figuring out its place in the world because it just requires the extra steps of putting on glasses, just like VR gaming in a way. But we told you before how James Cameron and Meta partnered up basically to make more 3D content, and if you've watched much 3D content on your headset, especially stuff in mixed reality like we showed you with Gracia with like real life people, it can be really amazing because 3D basically works off two slightly skewed images of the same thing being shown to each eye. VR is a perfect fit, or XR, as it already has two separate screens, one for each eye. Although personally, even knowing some people who had 3D TVs and plenty of people who have XR headsets, I'm still not sure that everyone's going to want to strap on their own XR headset and try to watch a 3D movie together. It might be a rare occasion, but it's probably not replacing your TV anytime soon for me. What do you think out there? If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of a VR game called Demio. And yes, that is actually how it's pronounced, even though everybody tries to call it Demio. If you don't know what it is, it's a dungeon crawling multiplayer cooperative game where you go into these dungeons. It's turn-based. You pick out your turns. People say it's kind of like a watered-down version of Dungeons and Dragons, which they've actually partnered up with the company to make an official D&D game, but that's other news. Well, after a long time and Demio sitting for years without anything, a surprise update just dropped. With it changing the way the game looks, the colors pop brighter, the graphics are better, and if you had already maxed out a level 75, which means you've probably played like 1,000 hours like I have, you can now go up to a level 90. There's more to unlock. And the thing about me and Demio, if you haven't been with the channel for a long time, I never thought I would have liked a game like Demio. I never played turn-based games. I wasn't big on tabletop games, and it was a game that actually Potato Batman back in the day got me to try with him, saying he really wanted to make a video on it, and I even told him at the time, I was like, I don't see myself ever playing this game, and then I got horribly addicted. So if it's a game that you haven't tried out there and you're still like, oh, maybe it's time to try it, I'll leave a link down below that should save you some money on it just in case. But unfortunately, this video isn't even sponsored by them, but it's really cool to see that they added more. They did some graphics and rendering overhauls. The performance and the loading of the game is better on the Quest as well, but it's available on everything. It's even available flat on PC now and other consoles. But if you hadn't gotten back into Demio for a while and you needed an excuse, do it. Yeah, I should get together some play sessions with the Discord or something because I love Demio. I was so excited to see that coming as a little surprise, especially as their Dungeons and Dragons game is coming later this year. So yeah, check them out. If you've been waiting for a good high-end option for standalone VR that is not in the meta realm, we've talked before about the Valve Decker that seems to be coming from Valve. It's been rumored for a long time, and there's more and more leaking about it all the time. Sadly, it's Bradley really keeps us up to date on all this if you've never checked out his YouTube channel, but he's back talking about how now Valve is importing equipment to manufacture VR headset facial interfaces in the US, meaning that it's likely that this is for the Decker. This after we had recently seen proof of concepts with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip in them, 2K LCD panels, and that doesn't necessarily mean those are the specs of the Deckard either, but there's also been things about a wireless USB dongle, so much else coming that means the Valve Deckard may be closer than we ever thought before. Hope so. Although it may be an expensive $1,200 when it does come out. But what do you think out there? What are you waiting for in the VR space right now? What are you excited about? We just got to try Civilization. There's rumors of a Star Wars game, a mixed reality playset they call it is coming, and hopefully we'll hear some other big titles soon, but let me know what you're looking forward to out there, and thank you once again for being here with me. I'll see you in another reality.